Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a library haul. These are all TBRs for July. It's quite ambitious. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. I don't know if I can actually read all of these books, but when I went to the library, I had 2 books that were on hold that I had specifically requested. And then the 6 other books, I just lucked out and they were all just on the shelf. And so I picked them up. And as I was leaving, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of these books, but they all look so good. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first book I want to read is this, Goddess of the River. And I read this author's first book, which was Kaikeyi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think I got this through Book of the Month. I no longer subscribe to Book of the Month anymore, but when I did, I had purchased this book and I really enjoyed it. And so when I saw that the author was coming out with her second book, I immediately requested it to be on hold at the library, and it just came in. I started reading it. I'm about 50 pages in. I just started reading it today, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So I have a feeling I'm going to be able to finish this pretty quickly. So the back of the cover says here, a powerful and deeply moving reimagining of the story of Ganga. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The goddess of the river and her mortal son. This is a masterful tale of duty, destiny, and the unwavering bond between mother and child. I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm already reading it and I'm really enjoying it. This author is such a good storyteller. I mean, like I said, I've only started briefly reading this and I'm already fully into it. I'm fully engrossed in the story. So I'll circle back with you guys and let you know how this was. Okay, so this is the second book that I requested on hold, and it's Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books. And I had seen this on the Goodreads, I think it was like their new releases list. And guys, let's be real, books are being banned. And it's kind of scary right now. Not kind of, it is. It is scary times that we're living in right now. Not just books, but women's rights as well are slowly being taken away. So I think this book is timely. It's about a woman who opens up what I think is like one of those like free little libraries, possibly, just based on what the description is. And I guess there's an individual in the community that is wanting to ban books, but I think maybe this character Lula Dean, she goes on to disguise some books that potentially would have been banned. It says here, literary classics, gay romance, black history, Judy Blume novels, books of witchy spells, all just waiting to be discovered. So she's disguising them as wholesome books, with the hope that when people actually read them, they'll see that, this stuff is not bad. It doesn't need to be banned. It's good for everyone to learn something new. So this is on my TBR. I'll let you guys know how I like it. Okay, so this is the third book that I picked up. And this book is also a book that I believe I saw maybe another booktuber mention, or I know I saw it somewhere because it caught my eye and I thought, oh, I remember seeing this somewhere, and when I saw it at the library, I just grabbed it. And so just quickly, it says here, the novel's hero is a young man grappling with an inheritance of violence and loss, a mother whose plane was shot down over the skies of the Persian Gulf in a census accident, and a father whose life in America was circumscribed by killing chickens on a factory farm in the Midwest. Cyrus is a drunk, an addict, and a poet whose obsession with martyrs leads him into the mysteries of his past, toward an uncle who rode through Iranian battlefields, dressed as the angel of death to inspire and comfort the dying, and toward his mother through a painting discovered in a Brooklyn art gallery that suggests she might not have been who or what she seemed. Cyrus is guided on his journey by the voices of artists, poets, and kings, and delivered in the novel's unforgettable final pages to a world that teems with unforeseen wonders. Martyr is a work of gut-wrenching anguish and exquisite consolation, a book that sees into every corner of the human heart, that faces down shame and despair, and emerges with a vision of humanity that is capacious and full of grace. Wow. So this is kind of an ambitious read for me. It seems like kind of deep, but I'm excited to read it. Wish me luck, guys. This next book, I admit I grabbed simply because the cover. I thought this cover was so cute. It has the lucky cat on it. So I don't really know what this book is about. I grabbed it because the cover just caught my eye. 888 Love and the Divine Burden of Numbers. I will say that I do try to read books that are written by authors of Asian ethnicity. I'm just kind of drawn to them. I like reading about the Asian experience. I am Korean. So I do tend to read quite a bit of books written by Asian authors. So this book, it says here, the main character says here, his life is filtered through Chinese numerology and superstition. He finds meaning in almost everything, something for which his two best friends tease him endlessly. It says here, an adoring ode to Western pop culture, Eastern traditions, and being a first-generation New Yorker, Abraham Chang's dazzling debut reminds us that luck gets us only so far when it comes to matters of the heart. It kind of sounds interesting. If the book is actually as good as the cover. Okay, so the next 3 books that I picked out for my TBR were just random. I wanted to pick a book that was a little, just more of a light read. So I grabbed this book, When in Rome, a novel by Liam Callanan. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it seems like kind of a lighthearted book. It says here, the main character, 52-year-old, desperately desires a fresh start. It says here, on the eve of her 30th college reunion, a call comes from Rome. So it sounds like she's somehow taken on a journey to Rome and maybe goes on a journey of some kind, of self-reflection maybe, finding herself, possibly. A look at faith in oneself as much as in a higher power and love, romantic and familial, lost and found. This is the thoroughly charming story of one woman who sets out to rewrite her past and future, only to be surprised by the plot twists life takes when in Rome. Sounds fun. Sometimes you just need a lighthearted read. You don't want to read things that are so heavy all the time. So that's why I picked this one up. The next book, hopefully I can read. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. The Golden Gate by Amy Chua. Again, I am just drawn to Asian authors, Asian experience, Asian stories. So that's primarily why I picked this up. I think it's a mystery. Yes, it says Amy Chua's debut novel, The Golden Gate, is a sweeping historical thriller that paints a vibrant portrait of a California buffeted by the crosswinds of a world at war and a society on the brink of massive change. Okay. It says here, the page-turning fiction debut introduces a fascinating character in Detective Sullivan, a mixed-race former Army officer who is still reckoning with his past. And in her vivid portrayal of a country at war, she conjures a historical era rife with turbulent social forces and groundbreaking forensic advances when race and class defined the very essence of power, sex, and justice. It sounds really good, guys. I don't really read a lot of mystery type books, so this will be something somewhat different for me. So it sounds interesting. I'll let you know. Okay, second to last book, The Twilight Garden. Again, this is just a lighthearted read. I grabbed it because the cover caught my eye. Like, how many of you guys just pick a book because the cover looks pretty or interesting or eye-catching, and then you're like, oh, I'll give it a chance because you just want to see, does the content of the book match with the book cover? Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone else do that? Sometimes I do that. I don't do that all the time, but in this case, I picked up this book and that 888 with the lucky cat on it, simply because the cover caught my eye. But it says here, a wild city garden, a community coming back to life. It says, two warring London neighbors unite to resurrect a neglected city garden in this quietly joyful novel. Well, first of all, you guys know I'm into plants. So that's already hitting a checklist, a tick on the checklist for me. Plants, gardens, I'm kind of into that thing. And I also like books about, friendship, relationship. So it sounds like two people who don't like each other maybe do end up forming a relationship over a garden of some sort. So yeah, this could be a fun read as well. I'll let you know. All right, guys, my last book that I picked up, this book is called The Wren. And I believe I saw Jack Edwards talk about this book, or at least he had it in one of his videos. And it says here, winner of the Booker Prize. So it says here, the Wren brings to life 3 generations of women who must contend with inheritances of poetic wonder and of abandonment by a man who is lauded in public and carelessly selfish at home. Their other, stronger inheritance is a sustaining love that is more than a strand of DNA, but a rope thrown from the past, a fat, twisted rope full of blood. In knife-sharp prose, studded with crystalline poetry, Anne Enright masterfully braids a family story of longing, betrayal, and hope. Sounds deep. I'm really curious to see if I'll like this book. I know some of these Booker Prize books, just based on ones that I've seen in the past, can be, I don't want to say difficult to read, but they're not necessarily something that I would just pick up on my own. But I did pick this up simply because I recognized the title from another booktuber. So I'm going to give it a shot and see if I like it. But if it won a prize, it's probably going to be good. So let me know, guys, if you've read any of the books that I just talked about. And if you did, if you liked any of them, if you didn't like them. I don't know if I can finish all 8. That's quite ambitious, but I'm going to try. Maybe I can renew some of these checkouts, and maybe I can hold on to them a little longer. But anyway, that's my July TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video and just maybe got a glimpse of some books that maybe you want to read as well. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. Have a great week. See you later, guys.